In this episode of Motive Garage, we finish assembly of our 1200 horsepower capable RB3026 and get it ready to go into the car.
First up, before we put the main girdle brace on, we're going to install the Nitto oil pump. This is a new billet unit, which is, I don't know if it's been released yet, but it's only been used in a handful of cars, and so far they're a really good thing. It's obviously a full billet unit, it's got adjustable pressure relief, and it's got an extra bolt in the back of the backing plate. Man, these things are the go-to for any wet sump application. Right now I've got the oil pump on, now I've got to get the rear main seal plate on. I need this stuff on obviously to make sure all my sump rail side of things is done before we put the brace on. So what we have here is a CRD full race ported head. This head combination has been extensively developed probably over the last 20 years, to be honest, with a guy that's been doing our head work for that long as well. This head's made upwards of 2,000 horsepower, no problems, at the wheels. It's got Supertech valve train, pawl work, which is designed specifically for street, and I'm not going to say street and race use because obviously they can be a bit different, but it's a good all-round combo to use for both. Now we ran 7.1 with this head, same head that's on the GOAT, same head that's on War GT-R, plus Dave's GT-R as well. There's a whole heap of cars running this head. Now that we're going to a 3.2, I will change the camshaft design. Other than that, there's not really much else that's changed. We've actually gone to a full open chamber now. We're going to go slightly bigger in the lift and the duration. Upwards of 280s, that's as far as I'll go, so we try to keep what we use close to our chest. The bigger capacity of the engine, you will need more camshaft. Every one of our cars still runs shims. We haven't felt the need to switch to a shimless setup. We haven't had any issues, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I guess shims versus non-shims, it's personal preference. It really comes down to the person setting it up and how they want to set up their cars. We stick to a shim style setup for serviceability purposes as well. It is much easier to then do a camshaft change or something else, because these days people start here with the build and end up finishing over there. So if you start with a shimless setup and then old mate loses a plot like 90% of GT-R runners do, at least you do have the versatility to be able to do something much easier. Man, I've got cars revving to 11,500 RPM with shims. Generally, if a car does pop a shim, there are other issues happening for it to pop a shim. So it could be a weak valve spring or something like that, not enough spring pressure on your valve seat. It could be any one of those reasons, which is why I guess it can cause it to pop a shim off. Our head gasket of choice always in, I guess, 90% of street applications is Nitto head gasket. They've obviously got the dual bore seal on them. We've had good success with this. We've run cars up to about 1250, 1300 horsepower with this gasket and no dramas. The surface finish required to make this gasket work really needs to be like a mirror finish, surface finish on the deck and also on the cylinder head itself. You want to torque the head down evenly, and you generally want to tighten stuff from the inside moving out. Depending on the tension, I generally do 3 to 4.
With Con's work on the internals complete, I got to work preparing and fitting everything that goes outside the engine. Titanium studs from racebolts.com.au on both the inlet and exhaust side. Haltech EGT sensors into our 6-boost manifold, which has been ceramic coated by Produce Factory, being careful to ensure they all sit the same distance inside the runners. Much of the assembly was done off camera over the weekends, so we thought we'd give you a tour of the complete engine before it goes into the car. Under the new cam covers, powder coated by Produce Factory, are the larger camshafts, Supertech valve train, including oversized valves, double valve springs and titanium retainers, as well as some boost dock splash plates. Inside the cam covers are high-octane racing baffles. We used a Platinum Racing Products Series 1 RB30 block adapter to help mount the tensioner required for the RB26 to go onto the RB30 block. We used the Nitto Performance Engineering cam belt sprocket, Nitto Woodruff keys and Nitto billet timing gear washers. Up top, we are using Kelford adjustable cam gears from New Zealand, which look great in black and are exceptional quality. The Platinum Racing Products double cast bracket allows us to mount the Ross trigger kit on one side and the Kinsler mechanical fuel pump, part of the Platinum Racing Products mechanical fuel pump kit, on the other. Our enlarged sump has had an extra fitting put on, so there is one for the catch can drain and one for the Nitto rear head drain. The boost dock RB heater hose delete loops the water from the back of the block back to the thermostat housing and neatens things up under the inlet manifold. We have a JHH billet oil distribution block with dash 10 fittings, which we've put a Haltech oil pressure sensor into. Up front, there is a Platinum Racing Products LS1 alternator kit and an ATI water pump pulley. We also use a TAH Products billet lower timing belt cover, which is taller than an RB26 one, so it matches up with the top cover when you do an RB30 bottom end with RB26 head. We had it custom anodized by PRP in black with a red timing mark. The G35050 Turbo is back on to begin with so that we can back-to-back test the 2.6 versus 3.2, as well as test some other products before we switch to the new Garrett G45 1500. We made all new oil and water lines for the turbo using Raceworks lines, fittings and heat sleeve.
So since we finished the long engine, we've set up the cam clearances, so we've shimmed up the clearances to the specs that we want. We've gone for a bigger set of camshafts. These camshafts will rev to, depending on the turbo, anywhere between 9 to probably 9,800, 10,000, depending on the turbo. So fitted the intake manifold, the mid plate. We've port matched the mid plate to match the cylinder head as well. Same with the exhaust manifold. And yeah, I guess we're pretty much ready to go in the car now.